It's a beautiful day in Little Dover. It's hard to believe that 3 generations ago, people came from all over the world to this isolated village to see a revolution in the making.
You have to think back in your mind about what it was like to be a fisherman or to be a farmer in that days.
Most of the people in the village were going around half-starved, even if they wouldn't admit it.
My uncle, Alec Reinl, had told me they were get up in the morning to go fishing, and there might be a couple of pieces of bread. My grandfather wouldn't eat it, he'd leave it for the children, and the older children, my father and his brother, they'd get up and they wouldn't eat it, they'd leave it for the younger children. Basically, it was hard times.
The poor fishermen who were at that time living in the richest section of Canada, and they were the poorest citizens.
I mean, that was the time, and unless you can get into your mind what it was like in that time, it's very difficult to understand why the Antigonish movement took place at that particular time with these particular people.
The whole world is changing and it's becoming industrialized. And so the things that people did for years, for really centuries, the production that was family-based, all of this is changing very, very rapidly, and people are kind of lost.
Then came Dr. J.J. Tompkins to set the heather on fire, as Nova Scotians say. Don't despair, he told the fishermen. Try to do something for yourselves.
The bishop couldn't get Tompkins to toe the line, so he shipped him off to Canso, which was a pretty terrible assignment. Yeah, first of all, there was no road in there. You went down by boat. Tompkins was a very frail, delicate person, a tiny bit of a human being.
What does he do? He starts educating people down there. He starts bringing them into the glebe house. He's doing literacy training.
Jimmy Tompkins had a vision, and people at some time didn't realize how smart he really was. Now that man came in here and thinking, how in the name of God did he ever expect that he could do anything in such a small place and with a bunch of fishermen that were uneducated and didn't know too much about the outside world. He gave those people the ambition. You can do it, he said. You can do it. And today, we have a better village because of him.
What's wrong with us? Has the blood of our ancestors frozen within our veins?
Cody was the majestic, powerful orator type. He could really move a crowd.
Dr. Cody was made head of the new Extension Department, founded in order to bring the university to the people.
So the Antigonish movement was start with a study club, move to credit, and get cash into people's lives, get, so that they could buy things. And then the next thing to move towards was, of course, cooperative stores and then cooperative production.
These co-ops were set up by local fishermen under the guidance and leadership of Father Moses Cody and the Extension Department. Ethiopia is believed to be the birthplace of mankind and coffee. 88% of the population is involved in small-time farming. These women laborers earn $2 a day. Coffee is the most important export commodity.
Ethiopian coffee is wonderful. It's really second to none.
Jeff Moore started the Just Us Coffee Co-op in Nova Scotia's Annapolis Valley, the first fair trade coffee roaster co-op in North America.
The idea of the Oromia Coffee Cooperative is to address poverty, chronic poverty issues, give them a life of simplicity with dignity, where they do have access to clean water, education for their kids.
To make a very practical difference in the lives of people who were kind of chronically poor and suffering in all kinds of ways because of that poverty.
So this coffee is now dried and ready to ship. And then they grade the coffee according to size and color, and then it's ready to put in 60-kilo bags and ship to Nova Scotia.
It's great to have ideas, but as Tompkins used to say, ideas have to have hands and feet. You have to get things done. Then in came The most brilliant thing the Antigonish movement did is they hired a bunch of women who were brilliant in what they did.
And Dr. Cody used to say that he had the smartest women in the world working for him. They were creative people. They were ever seeing possibilities.
My grandfather fished back in the early 1900s. My father fished here. I fished here. My father ran the local community credit union out of our home. He was the treasurer for the Lakeville Credit Union.
We were born and started out of necessities in the late 20s, early 30s. The self-help initiative that they started with the Antigonish movement is what made the difference.
After that, credit unions sprang up throughout the maritime provinces, especially in many of the smaller communities that the regular banks wouldn't find profitable enough.
If you can provide microfinance in these countries for these people who are living on $1 or $2 a day, then you can improve their health, their education, their housing. Every aspect of the family and the community improves with access to microfinance. If you think back to where we were in the 20s and 30s, when Cody and Tompkins were talking to the fishermen and the coal miners, the self-help initiative that they started with the Antigonish movement, it's still needed.
If we are wise, we will help the people everywhere to get the good and abundant life.
And I see the Cody International Institute very much as a living part of that movement. And that movement, which was started by the rural people here in northeastern Nova Scotia, is now carried out by people in every corner of the globe.
My dream was to go there and change everything, but it seems like it's really got to be step by step. I might be spending those 6 months just finding out what they need.
We're in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and today we're at the Oxfam Canada office. When you think about the principles of the Antigonish movement, they're so simple and so straightforward and so applicable to what's going on in the world today. And they really were the foundation of not only the Cody Institute, but a lot of the programs that are going on in places like Ethiopia.
This is the Tabo community. They are the ABCD community. And the community identified its problem and prioritized and planned road construction. So in such a way, our life is improved.
Barack Obama, the US president, was schooled in the methods of asset-based community development in his work in Chicago. The "Yes, we can" mantra that you heard during the US election is a mantra that was used by Moses Cody.
You can ask any one of them, they always tell you that we can do it.
The thing about the Antigonish movement is all these people came together and they actually did bring about something on the face of the earth that didn't exist before. And that's a bit of inspiration and genius.